Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome to Polar Currency, video number 74, a price guide review. Earlier this year, a new currency pricing hit the market, the Red Book Quarterly. I wasn't aware of it until the spring of 2025 issue had already come out, so I decided to order it. In this video, I'll do a brief overview of the Red Book, and I'll compare the pricing to common, well-known price guides for currency that I already use. I'll also compare these prices against what a national currency dealer has kindly provided and what they would buy and sell that same note for. First off, a bit of marketing price guides update. Okay, I think we're going to need a whiteboard for this. Over the past few years, CDN Exchange, which owns CPG Publishing, already an established numismatic provider of price guides, most notably the Gray Sheet and Green Sheet, has purchased a number of major providers of U.S. paper currency pricing guides. CDN, or rather CPG, recently purchased Whitman Publishing, which in turn purchased the book Paper Money of the United States by Arthur and Ira Friedberg, formerly published by the Coin and Currency Institute since 1953. Whitman already publishes the official Red Book, a guidebook of United States paper money, also authored by the Friedbergs. And now CDN is publishing the new Red Book Quarterly, or RQ. To me, this is a bit concerning. Why? Because that leaves only the Banknote Reporter, a long-time monthly publication published by Active Interest Media, as the remaining currency pricing guide not owned by CDN or CPG or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to use a certain word, but I think you can guess what I'm thinking about with the whole CDN, CPG, and Whitman conglomerate. Trust me, I'm not a conspiracy guy, but we as collectors should be aware of what is happening in the market. All right, let's get on with a brief review of the new Red Book Quarterly, or the RQ. It's a very nice magazine that combines both coin and currency prices. It starts with the editor's message and 2 articles, surprise, talking about coins, no currency articles of course, followed by a national events calendar that lists upcoming shows for the next few months. It's actually a fairly in-depth event listing that does list smaller regional shows. But QR's primary function is a retail price guide and is fairly easy to read. It's my opinion that RQ draws pricing directly from the Green Sheet, which is a wholesale pricing guide. This isn't surprising that they're formatted in a very similar way, and both are owned by, surprise, CDN. Of course, the currency section is buried in the back and only has 15 pages of price listings compared to 132 for coins, but, who's counting? RQ comes out quarterly. I missed the first issue of winter 2025. The CPG website states the following describing their pricing, and I quote, "The RQ guide is Gray Sheet's retail price guide and consists of the ask price. Ask is the amount that a dealer will request when selling to others," end quote. They also state how they arrive at pricing, and I quote again, "RQ prices are derived from anecdotal dealer information. Ask prices listed on marketplace exchanges, auction results, other forms of electronic trading, and information from other types of public and private trades." In comparing the pricing of the Green Sheet and RQ, and doing some math, which is hard for me, it appears that most RQ pricing is added about 30% to the existing Green Sheet price, which I've pretty much assumed all along for a while. But RQ confirms a wholesale markup of roughly 30%. The cost of RQ is $25, and again, it comes out quarterly. As of this writing, shipping was free, but when I ordered it, they charged me $6.95. Regardless, the price of RQ is 28% higher than the Green Sheet, which is $18 shipped. But with RQ, you don't have to do the math to calculate the retail price, and of course, there's some super interesting coin articles. That's just wonderful there. Here's a note. RQ does not provide continental and military payment certificate pricing, but neither does the official Red Book, a guidebook of the United States paper money, which comes out annually, by the way. Both RQ and the Green Sheet list 13 different grades, which is a lot. Paper Money of the United States Guidebook, which has been published about every 3 to 4 years, lists up to 7 grades and sometimes only 2, such as small-size Federal Reserve notes, which can make it fairly difficult to come up with a fair market price when you only have VF20 and Choice 63 to select from grades. The official Red Book, a guidebook of United States paper money, provides only 5 grades and sometimes even less. The Banknote Reporter, only 4 grades, but it usually has roughly 3 to 4 in-depth articles, along with 6 to 8 feature sections and a detailed event calendar for the upcoming month listed by state, which is pretty nice. I'm not aware of any price guide that provides all grades. It sure would be helpful to see some more lower grades added, like very good 10, fine 15, and very fine 30, especially when you get into the more scarce notes that go up in price. Worth mentioning is that RQ and the Green Sheet do not provide star note pricing for large and small size Federal Reserve notes, which is pretty weird. Let's get down to business and compare the pricing guides. Again, we have the 5 publications, and I've added a national dealer that was kind enough to provide me pricing. The note I selected to compare is the $1 series 1899 silver certificate, the Black Eagle, with a common Friedberg number of 226. To keep things simple, I'm only going to compare 2 grades, Extremely Fine 40 and Choice Uncirculated 63. These grades are also the only 2 grades that all of the pricing guides actually have. Note, for your information, wholesale pricing is provided for the Green Sheet and the dealer. These prices are all current as of June 2025. The average XF40 price is $318, with the dealer being the highest and the official Red Book, a guidebook of United States paper money, the lowest. That's a price spread of $135. Keep in mind that the dealer price is for a graded note and includes shipping. In my opinion, that's at least a value of $50. Pricing guides also say nothing about price differences between graded versus non-graded banknotes and most likely don't include shipping. In my opinion, the dealer's sell price is the most realistic. Why? Because the dealer is a long-time respected national seller of paper money. That's good enough for me compared to all the knuckleheads overpricing crap on eBay. For Choice Uncirculated 63, the average price is $665, with now Green Sheet being the lowest and the Banknote Reporter being the highest. Here's where pricing starts to get a bit wonky. The 63 grade price spread is $132 between the high and the low. That's $3 less than the XF40. I have no explanation for this. It could be just a one-off because I'm only comparing 1 banknote in 2 grades. Not exactly statistical science theory here. Remember, I'm a history guy, so that's all you're going to get. As always, I emphasize that these are pricing guides, and most of them are much more than that. They provide history, hobby information, banknote articles, explanation, the list goes on. A major drawback to the pricing guidelines is that they don't address other factors that affect price beyond just the grade. I already mentioned if a note is graded or not, but what about net or details? Comments on the back, even with a straight grade. What the hell does a PMG star even mean? How about EPQ or PPQ, or just overall eye appeal? I don't even want to talk about the other different grading companies. As collectors, we all know that these affect the price, and the guides do not take any of this into account. Frankly, I don't know how they can. It's kind of a beauty in the eye of the beholder thing. So my plans for using pricing guides is going to change a bit, at least for the next year. My main go-to price guide is still the Paper Money of the United States book. I purchase 1 Green Sheet and the official Red Book, a guidebook to the United States paper money, annually. For now, I'll do the same with the new Red Book Quarterly magazine, despite the coin pollution. Like the Green Sheet, I'll just purchase 1 a year. I will continue to subscribe to the Banknote Reporter, which ranges in price from $22 to $42 per year based on the monthly subscription that you get. I mean, that's just worth it for the articles and the information. Seriously, it's a great publication. Though they don't provide a pricing guide, I'd be remiss to not mention joining the Society of Paper Money Collectors. This nonprofit organization truly represents us paper currency collectors. The amount of information made available to members is staggering, and you get a very nice monthly magazine with your subscription, which starts at $20 a year. Well, that's it for video 74, a new price guide review. I hope this provided you with some insight and maybe some help in the future. As always, I appreciate your time. Please take the time to subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, and feel free to leave a comment or a question. We'll see you next time, and thanks for checking in.